That's why a lot of people like me, because I'm real and I'm gonna give you what you need, okay? Alright, so the first thing I'm gonna do is just kind of draw. But see, I'm not completely drawing. I'm just kind of like creating small little, you see what I'm saying? I'm not completely just like trying to draw a straight line. Like, no, Alright, and then we're gonna do the same thing to the other side, starting from the edge. And then sometimes you have to go back to make sure it's all filled in, there's no spaces, because you want a nice consistent round, right? Yep, okay. Alright, so now that we left those gaps in between, we're next